the release and information to let people know, the why we did this film, and you know, a lot of the whys. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is it recording?
it's recording. So I guess maybe there should be some form of intro.
Introduction. Yeah. Are you? I'm introduced. I guess I'd be introducing.
It could be
you.
a regular, whatever. You can make some shit up.
You know what? I am so happy to actually see you in person. We had our part one. We did our part one on Instagram Live.
Right.
And now we're doing a part two with you and I.
Okay, I like that.
And this is even better to be in person, so you and I could talk about the film. Because remember on Instagram Live, we talked for a long time.
It went past the time we had set. Yeah.
It went past it, and the hype has been happening. The movie is coming soon. Everybody, so I should introduce myself. For those who don't know,
Yes.
My name is Melizia, aka Mel Black Rose, is what I usually go by. I've been in radio for 20 years, and I've been a supporter of King of Tema. I mean, you've been talking
I appreciate
about
that, yeah.
You know how I said we, because now I feel like I'm
and that's
part
the
of
way
this
I
movie.
want you to feel.
Right, and we've been talking since 2021 about
Yeah.
this, and now we are here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be released. I need you to introduce yourself to everybody.
So I mean, I go by, Kabina. A lot of people in Ghana, call me like Anibok, because it's related to my company, Anibok Studios, and just really just been doing film as a way of really connecting my identity to where I'm from. Tema.
Right. Okay. So you were born in Tema, raised in Tema,
Yeah.
and then you moved.
Yeah. Born, raised in Tema, moved, to the States, and then ever since, just been, the States, everybody has to work, but I started out in accounting, and then just kind of like, I found, like photography, and
Right.
then from that, fast forward, it just went into video, and then now it's more so in film, because it's just what connects to me more now.
Right. And I guess with King of Tema, it's only right because you are from Tema.
Yes.
And what made you what made you even have this idea in the first place?
So, being in the States, I love film. So being in the States, I always watch and learn how they do their films, how they name the movie, and what the stories are about. And I realized they stayed on topic in the sense of who they are. The stories were authentic. So me being from Tema, it was more so like whatever story I tell, it has to be from a place that I know, and it has to be in Tema. But at the same time, we are in entertainment, so it has to be, a story that people can relate to, and then also the title has to be something that is very marketable. So I've always been someone that continue to see myself growing and evolving, and I
Right.
think the highest form of man can be is king. So when I thought about that, it was more like it's a journey that someone's going through to become the king version of themselves. And since they are from Tema, it means there's a king in you, and it's just king of Tema. That's
Okay.
the title, and then the title came first, and then the story came after.
Oh, so you just thought of
Yeah, the way I write my movies, I think about the title first, and then
Oh.
I build around the title.
Okay. Do you want to give a little brief summary, or is that supposed to be like the fans are gonna get a surprise?
No, it's not a surprise. I'll tell you, but I'll tell you about the film. So when you see the movie,
Yeah.
it kind of like it ties in. But I think the story is an everyday story of a young man by name Pakwisi, and he's just trying to find ways to save his mother from dying from cancer.
And so there's a story like how he gets his money, and then
Yeah.
he probably encounters so many exciting or different experiences on trying to get that money. Because in Ghana, it's not like, here where it's like you can easily get a loan, or, you can get government funding. In Ghana, I don't know if people know, it's like when you hustle, you really, truly have to hustle.
Yeah, you have to hustle in the hot sun, you know what I mean? Like that hustle is different, Charlie. It's different. And Ghanaians know how to hustle.
What?
They know how to work hard, they know how to get money. So, in the film you see his journey, and then when you're desperate in life, you make decisions that, if you wasn't desperate, you wouldn't make. So, being desperate, having that pressure of wanting to, save your mother, it makes you do things that under normal circumstances you wouldn't do. So you get to see this journey that Pac has to take, and then be able to kind of like come out of it without really um, compromising his integrity.
Okay, so do you feel like, okay, so why did you do this? Like, why did you start this? Even though I know it's like, okay, you wanted to change your career, but you could have easily just said, I can make an American film. But why did you choose, to deal with it in the Ghanaian market, and specifically Tema?
So once again, it's all. I realized, like learning here, I realized you can only be your authentic self better than anybody can be. So I cannot be black. I wasn't born here, so I don't know the nuances of the struggles here. But I know the nuances of Tema. I grew up there. I lived there, so I know what people go through. So that was, making sure that we tell a story that's impactful. You know what I mean? Because we're not just making a movie just to make a movie because it costs money. So we just wanted to tell a story that was very impactful. People can relate to it. People can be inspired by the journey of prophecy, and then also the film in itself. It's the art, but the other side that I was curious about was the business of it, because once you're able to understand the business of film, then you're able to evolve and grow and scale and do more. And I feel like this was a great opportunity because my background is in accounting anyway. So the opportunity was to, in doing this film, I was able to see each step of what it takes. And after going through those steps, you are able to optimize and make it efficient. So you're able to do it again, at a very affordable space, faster, very efficient, and be able to get the same quality that is on the global market.
Right. So do you think that now that this movie is going to come out,
Yes.
do you think it's going to create space for Tema? Because there's Kamasi has
Yes, Kumawood.
Kumawood, right?
Yes.
They have their own. So now, do you think this will open a gate for Tema?
I would hope so, but then at the same time, all my movies, majority of my movies will always be based in Tema because, creating an industry or being part of a new industry in Tema allows us to keep money coming into Tema, because when we have to do films, we have to spend money in Tema. We have to buy food, we have to get costumes, we just have to be able to, spend money. And being from Tema, we definitely want to be a part of this wave where it opens the door for investment to come into Tema. So not just Accra or the other places, but investment to come directly into Tema. And the way that I've been able to do it is through my film production. So, and then it also creates jobs for the younger folks out there, and it creates different experiences so that people are able to learn different skill sets that normally they wouldn't encounter.
Okay. And so this film is pretty unique. It's not, something that you would usually see in as a Ghanaian film. So what makes your film different? What sets you apart? Like, what makes King of Tema different than what is out there right now?
So, what makes King of Tema unique is told from Apocryphy's perspective, right? And he's just an everyday kid. He's not. He's part of our society. When you see him and you see his problems, he looks like the kid next door.
Okay.
So it's not like you get in this story, this character that it's a nice movie, but he's not relatable to the people or where he's coming from. I feel like our story is very relatable. I call our film, shit.
Well, this is what happens when you're in New York.
Yes, and you're filming outside. So I call our film the Wache of films, right? Meaning it's very local to the people, but at the same time it can be digested globally. So it's very everyday, and I love the story because it's very everyday. When you watch it, you can say, oh, somebody that has been through something like this, and that's what makes it unique. I like to keep things very simple, and I feel like that's what makes it very unique.
It's more of like, it's a story of a local person, but anybody who's watching it, doesn't matter where they are in the world, they could actually relate to the film. So even though it's based in Ghana, it's still something that could be worldwide, is what you're saying.
Yes, because the themes of it are worldwide, like love, trust, loyalty,
right.
betrayal, struggle. no matter what society you are, there's these themes exist. So those
Right.
themes are in the movie. There's also mental health as well. So I wanted to make sure that the mental health aspect was also a part of the movie because I'm realizing how important it is, and just being able to do my part to make that conversation exist in our film.
Right? Netflix, Tubi, Amazon. I hope you guys are listening because this is going to blow. My
Yes.
personal opinion, and I'm not even trying to be biased. I think that the story, I can't wait to actually see it. Do I get to get like a
Yes,
row?
you do. We're working on those packages so you can have early looks, so you can let us know, your raw feedback and stuff like that. So
Right, okay.
yeah.
So do you have a favorite character?
I do have a favorite character. His name is King.
King.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is King.
Why is he your favorite character?
Because the name by itself, he's king. You know what I mean? Like he's the final boss. And he has an interesting storyline. King is one of my favorite characters, and it's
Okay.
another character. His name is Buga, and it's played by Kweku Elliott, who's also from Tema.
Okay.
And I think I think after this movie, most people would start calling him Buga because it just fits his personality.
Okay.
He became that character, and
Okay.
he's from Tema, always been supported, and it's a Tema movement. What has happened with this film now?
So most of the characters are living in Tema, or
Yes, most of the characters are from Tema, and then we also
Oh.
have characters that are from other places in Ghana.
okay, and even the music. Is the music coming straight from Ghana, or are you gonna have like a variety? Because even that, I feel like giving that opportunity would be great for artists back home in Ghana, right?
Yes, agree. So yes, the music is a mixture that fits the themes of the song. So it's definitely wanted to make sure I have artists from Tema. We still compiling the music, but I definitely have White Gold. He's been featured by Eminem. He's also on our soundtrack. So that's exciting.
Wait, bring that back. So there's a soundtrack too.
Yes. We're putting together a soundtrack, and it's just gonna accompany the King of Tema movement because we got the merch, the music, and we got some other things other creative things that we're putting out that can continue to expand the King of Tema universe.
Okay, and in general, how can the average person, but if somebody wanted to invest in this film, how would they be able to do that? Or are you taking investments?
So currently, right now, we wrapped up with all investment conversation because there was a time, but now it's just if you want to follow the story, you go to kingoftema.com,
Okay.
and then you are able to just just get all the information about the movie, the characters, and everything, and then also receive updates.
So they just have to say the website again?
Kingoftema.com, and then the E is the number 3, so it's king of and then T3MA.com.
Is there a significance for that?
So the significance of it was there's a lot of I don't knows in terms of trying to copyright the name King of Tema.
Okay.
But just to be on the safe side, we just use that, and on top of that, honestly, it's become a thing where I feel like King of Tema is going to be a trilogy. So the number 3 is already, kind of like we are manifesting the trilogy of
Okay.
the movie. So
Okay.
like part 1, 2, 3,
So now you're at this point. I know there's a lot of people are seeing the finished product, but I know there's a path when it comes to these things. Like, do you have any advice to people who want to start a film? And sometimes they can get discouraged because life happens. Life happens. You can get discouraged. Sometimes you don't really see the finish line. So do you have any tips or anything that you could let people know who would want to get into that?
So I would say, what I've come to realize, film is a long game, right? So it's kind of like, it's kind of like coconut, you know what I mean? Like, you can have the 3-year version or the 5-year version, and you can't fast forward the growth of coconut. So that's literally sometimes your journey in film.
Right.
Sometimes something might be 3 years, something might be 5 years, and you just have to continually push every day a little bit, Just continue to push a little bit every day. You don't have to have solved the whole thing in one day, but just make sure every day you're doing something a little bit that pushes, whatever you're doing forward.
And I think that's the problem with humor. I think even with myself, like I find myself if it's not done right away, it's kind of like it's easy to get discouraged. And for you to be able to stick through with something that you're doing, like I am super proud of you and I'm so excited because this is a goal that you set and you stuck with it, and I'm sure it probably even went way past what you expected it to
Yeah.
be. You know, like the support you've been getting, the maybe the actors and the actresses in the film. Like I
Yeah, no, no,
Charlie.
no, no, no.
Oh.
Let me tell you this right now, because right now what has happened with our film is like it's a movement, and it's the movement is, for me, what I want to put out there is love, unity, and let's come together and build. Because
Yeah.
if we're not building, what else we doing? Because we know all the other sides of crabs in the barrel, and we know all of these things. Like right now, we're a little older, we're a little wiser. So the only thing we know that will bring prosperity is by coming together and growing, like in unity. And at least in my hometown in Tema, that's what I want to put out there. We are all about unity, loyalty, and doing what you say you're going to do. That's the only thing that, if you want to be part of our movement, that's the only thing we ask. Like, you're just going to be about your business. Like, that's it. Because we cannot be on no, reverse mindset type of thing, going backwards. And I call that, very, petikpene. You know what I mean? That's just like, like very petikpene. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just like, it's about time we just be about our business. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. That's it. Like, we've seen all the nonsense. You know what I mean? So, like, 2025 is almost over. You see what I'm saying? So right now it's just like, can we just get to the business, get to the progression, the evolving, and let's get to the other side of it, Yeah.
So, I know this may seem like a weird question, but 5 years from now, you as this filmmaker and your studio, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
So 5 years, we are heavy in television content. You know what I mean? Making a lot of content for television, because I realize, like, I'm very passionate about TV. I love film, but I think I love the structure of TV. I like the experience of TV when you sit at home and you just watch TV with your loved ones, and I think I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that conversation with our content.
Okay, because I'm still mad at you that I wasn't in the movie, right?
Listen, this is just the beginning. You know what I mean?
Me and you, Charlie, we have beef.
This is
We have
no
beef,
no beef. Pause the beef, man. Pause the beef. Pause it. But it's just, because you overseas. We in Ghana. Everything. Everybody's moving around. But it's definitely going to be a lot more content that I want to do. That I definitely would always extend an invite to come and be a part of it.
I'm just playing with you.
I know, but I'm serious though. I'm serious. I need my diaspora people to be a
Listen.
part of our movement, because like, you can't look this way and just keep it in the office. I feel like it's like the ancestors are mad. You know what I mean? Like, Charlie, we gotta put it on camera. Like,
You guys hearing what he said, right? So
you
the
don't have
next
an
one,
office
I'll
face.
be.
Yeah, you don't have an office.
I don't have
face.
an office face.
No.
So, so you're going to be premiering the movie.
Yes.
Which day is that going to
So
be?
it's premiering in Ghana November 14th.
Ooh, okay.
Accra, West Hills Mall. It's also going to premiere November 14th in Kumasi, Eagle Eye Cinema. And then we're doing our own premiere in Cape Coast November 15th.
Oh, okay.
And and then we're still working on like other places. But currently November 14th is our premiere date. And we're really doing everything independent, no sponsors, we reached out to the sponsors, ain't nobody pay us no mind, so we're just gonna go out there and do it on our own. So we pushing, and I think my mentality is, what I saw Master P, Nipsey Hussle, Jay-Z and them do back in the day, where it's like, you gotta get it out the mud yourself, and
Yep.
I think that's what the journey is. So we're embracing it, and we're just gonna make sure that people are able to feel us when it comes out.
I think what's going to happen is like, I'm going to give my prediction. I think what's going to happen is going to create hype where people are going to be coming to you. So instead of you going to those sponsors, because they're going to be aware and alert of that, the quality, the great acting, and they're going to see it. And I feel like sometimes, unfortunately, with us in general, it's like, humans in general, they have to see something to believe it, So,
Agreed.
and when they see it, they'll definitely believe it. And you knew, and then now that it's coming independently and you know that you worked your way up.
That is the journey. That is a journey.
So is there anything you want, people who are going to be watching this film to know?
Um, it's just oh, the film is also in local language, right? So that it's very inclusive of all of our people.
Yes.
It's very local language because I like my local language. And the other thing is, it's gonna be a good time. You know what I mean? Like it's really gonna be a good time. It's something fresh. Something like very refreshing. And yeah, I definitely want people to come and check us out.
And even it is in local languages, but there are going to be subtitles, right?
There's definitely subtitles. There's definitely subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely subtitles to the movie because we definitely want to, make it like very inclusive, globally, so that other people outside can also see, the stories that we tell.
Right.
In Tema.
And like I told you before, I feel like I love to see that wave of, the films in their actual local language because that's what captions and subtitles are there for.
Yes.
And like I told you before, I watched those Chinese
Yeah,
films.
everybody's watching them.
It's upset. It's, and I think eventually you should start doing them too. There's like those
We will.
like the AI versions of like the stories, but in our local language, so
Yeah.
people can just go online and click on that, and they can watch it in anywhere. But let's
Digress.
see how excited I get. Like I get so excited.
I
Because
like
I'm
that
excited.
excitement. That's what I want people to feel.
I know because I know, Chale, you're hot right now. You're ready to. You just want me to stop talking.
No, not even. It's more like I want to hear more because the more I hear, the more I keep like, okay, this is very,
Right.
like, it's almost like there's so much of the story that I'm even thinking,
And now that's
Yeah.
going to be a trilogy. So in November, they have to look out for that. Do you want to say the dates again?
Yes. So the dates is November 14th, Accra and West Hills Mall, Silverbird, and then that same date it will be in Kumasi as well, Eagle Eye Cinema.
Okay.
And then November 15th it will be in Cape Coast.
Okay. Is there at the premiere at the West Hill Mall? That's
Yeah.
where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Are they going to be? Is there going to be a Q&A session?
Yes, it's gonna be a
Okay.
Q&A session. It's gonna be like meet the actors. Like we'll definitely have a couple of activations around the premiere.
Okay. Okay. And do you think you might bring it back after November, depending on the response?
Yes.
Or
Yeah. So my intentions are once we are able to premiere it in Ghana and just have the people see it, then we would extend to maybe East Africa, and then from there, definitely do a showing in London, and then definitely do a showing in like Canada, and then just moving between states, and just after that, probably find its way to a streaming platform, which we're still working on.
okay. All right. So you got the information of there, and if somebody was interested, again, you have to keep on repeating that website so that everybody can know that
Yeah.
they can get their updates and figure out what they want to do. Buy
Yeah.
merch. You can get
Yeah.
the merch on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And what's the website?
Yeah, so it's King of Tema, right? And it's kingoft3ma.com, and then you can also